Okay, so the first step is to disassemble our snare drum. Now I've got it here in this carry case, very kindly given to me by a friend. Just open it up, and here is the snare drum that we'll be working on. It's a wine red Premier Cabria edition. I think it's about 7 or 8 years old now. I've had it for about 4 or 5 years. It's second hand. So here it is. Just show it to you from a few different angles so you can see what it looks like all around. Okay, now this is the batter skin which gets hit whilst playing, and this is the resonant skin on the back, and these wires across the resonant skin are what give the snare drum the unique sound. Okay, so now using a drum key, which I've got here, if you don't have one, you could get one from a music shop for just a couple of £. They won't be expensive. We need to start unscrewing the tuning pegs, which are holding on the drum hoops, which are holding on the batter skin. So if we just unscrew this, now this is what a tuning peg looks like taken out of the snare drum. Now there are 8 of these on each side of this snare drum, so for purposes of timing I'm going to speed up the video now. Okay, just removing the last tuning peg now. Put that with the rest of them. You will need to keep all of these safe, so make sure not to lose them. And now we've taken off the tuning hoop, and we'll just put this off to one side. And now we can take off the batter skin. Now this skin I will be replacing, as this one has been used rather a lot. And now we're ready to flip over the snare drum to repeat the process. Now again, we need to unscrew all of the tuning pegs, and we need to make sure that we keep all of these safe. We don't want to go losing any. So there we go, here's the first one out of the resonant side of the snare drum. Now again, I'm going to speed things up a bit. Here we go, just unscrewing the last tuning peg on the resonant side. There we go. Now put this safe with the rest of them. They're all exactly the same, so when it comes to putting it all back together, it doesn't really matter whereabouts they go. Now it's only the snare wires holding this on now, so as you can see on the inside, it's screwed into place with a nut and a bolt. Now I'm going to be using a monkey wrench to unscrew this and get it out. So here we are, just a standard monkey wrench that we can tighten around the nut to loosen it up. Now again, this is a small part that we're taking out, so we want to make sure we don't lose this. So there we go, it unscrews relatively easily. We just have to take this out, and the rest is relatively the same. So let's carry on. Okay, so now we've unscrewed everything, we can take all of these 3 parts off together. And again, place them down to one side. I don't know if you can see, but it's quite dusty on the inside of this snare drum, just from how much it's been used. And now it's only the tuning boxes left to take off. Now these are quite simple to take off. All you'll need is a crosshead screwdriver like I've got here, and it's just literally a case of unscrewing all of the screws and keeping them all safe and together. Now most snare drums, most standard snare drums will have either 6 or 8 tuning boxes to them, so you just have to repeat the process as many times as there is tuning boxes on your snare drum. So there we go, there's the first tuning box. We'll put that down and we'll just repeat the process a further 7 times. And then that's all the hardware removed. Okay, just undoing the last screw here. There it goes. Again, keeping everything together. And here is the last tuning box. So put that with the rest of them, and we've now taken off all of the hardware from the snare drum. So here it is without anything on it, apart from the badge. And we're about ready to move on to the next step, which is sanding it down. So we'll see you in the next video.